Two peas
Two
in a
peas in a
bong.
bong.
Two peas in a bong. Two peas
Two
in a
peas in a
bong.
bong.
Two Peez and a Bong. Two Peez and a Bong. Two Peez.
Two peas
Two
in a
peas
bong.
in a bong.
What's up, y'all? Two Peas in a Bong in the building again. It's your boy DP.
And without your boy KP for the night, and trying to figure out if this is still the best final series we've seen in a while, it's your boy Bone.
Well, I mean, I don't know if it's the best, but it is even now. Um, this is kind of what I expected, though, in the first game. I expected OKC to kind of control it from start to finish. Really was never close. Um,
Right.
Pancake in the building. Al Sucks and Mock Drafts in the building. Dizzle is in the building, too. What's up, y'all?
The tie was good, fellas.
Um,
Yeah, so go ahead.
no, no, that's just what I was saying. Like I expected this to be like expected game one to be like this. Really, I was thinking OKC would have took both games at the crib and be up 2-0. Obviously, Indiana stole that first one, but or like we say, OKC gave it away, Indiana stole it, however you want to look at it.
However you want to look at it. Cup half full, cup half empty. But I'll say this though. Either way, for the people that were saying like this is the low, I think there was a stat that this was like the lowest rated finals since like 19 the 1900s, some year in the 1900s, right? Um, and people were like, "Oh, well, they missed a hell of a game." No, they didn't.
Yeah, no,
Like
not this one. No.
game one was a cool last 3 or 4 minutes, and this one was never close and it was never competitive. So it's like there's a reason that the matchmakers for the NBA, want certain matchups, and uh, this is not competitive. And let's see what happens when they go back to Indiana. But this is the trend. It just continues the trend of a lot of these games being blowouts. Regardless who
Hmm.
wins, there's no competitive games from start to finish where it's a back and forth, back and forth. I think
Yeah.
New York had a few games where it was competitive. They were going back and forth. It was gave you that action, that kind of like you don't want to leave your seat type of vibe. But for the most part, a lot of these, especially these Western Conference games, man, they were so lopsided. You know,
Yeah. I mean, they they went, I won't say back and forth, but it was kind of close in the beginning, like the first part of the first quarter or whatever. Neither one of them was really like taking off like that, but um, I mean, after that, it was just you already knew what was gonna happen. Um, I early on, I will say early on, I was like, okay, they about to let Indiana stay in this shit. If it's gonna be like this, Indiana might have a chance.
yeah,
But that shit went away real quick. Like SGA is consistent,
having his
dog.
way.
Yeah, he is consistent as shit. And really all he needs is somebody else to step up. Like Jalen Williams ain't having the best series so far. But
But
you
Chet
had
had a bounce back.
Chet, you had Chet Holmgren, you had Wiggins who showed up today. Caruso was
Yeah,
putting in work. So
yeah.
if he can get somebody else to step up consistently, not even the same person, but somebody else to consistently step up, one of the dudes, then
Caruso,
it'll be cool for him.
um, Caruso
Russell had a dub, I think.
always Caruso always steps up quietly, whether it shows in the stat sheet or not. He does things that go a lot of times go unnoticed. He's the gritty defender. He's the one that's always doing all the lunchbox. You know, hey, the pack your lunch. The workman type stuff. He doesn't get any of the accolades or any of the you
Now,
know.
is this a metal lunch pail or
Oh,
is it a
my bad. That's me. What in the hell's going on?
what happened?
Oh, you didn't hear that?
I didn't.
Oh, something
I
went
said
crazy
it.
in my back.
It is Caruso's lunch pail. Is it a metal lunch pail or is it one of the brown paper bags that he's packing
Uh,
all of his shit in?
he's definitely packing his lunch in the metal
Oh,
in
okay.
the metal in the metal lunch pail with the metal canister or the canteen for his water.
So it ain't the brown bag that's getting soggy at the bottom
Soggy at
because
the
the
bottom.
apple and the juice is at the bottom. So that shit about to about to rip
Hey, you
and
put
all
that
this
shit.
shit gonna
Hey,
fall
look,
apart.
look. Hey, you put that shit in the freezer last night because you want that shit to be cold.
Right?
Now the water making that
Uh,
shit soft.
oh,
Yo, man, that's crazy though, man. But I'll say this, man. Like you said, man, Chet uh chipped in with 15. Jalen Williams chipped in with 19. Um,
and
you
and
know,
and he hasn't had like a really good game so far. Jalen Williams, I'm saying J Dub.
yeah.
I don't. What did he shoot? Over
He
the
went he went
yeah,
5 for
five for
14.
five
He had
for
a bad
14. Yeah,
but 8 or 9 from the free throw line. So we still getting to the free throw line. Um, SGA, the free throw merchant, as Doris Burke coins him. Have you
right.
sidebar? Have you seen like all the heat that
Yes,
Doris Burke is catching? They
yes.
talk about they might not renew her contract because, like, are we serious? Like, I
Hey,
think Doris Burke is pretty entertaining, halfway entertaining,
nah,
man. She
she's
does,
cool. She's cool. They did.
right?
They done incorporated her on 2K and all that, right? Like she's a fixture in the mix. So yeah, but I done heard all this shit. Yeah, what
Like
what what did she make that comment about the French and the Germans or something like
Germans
that?
and Russians or something not getting
Yeah, like
along.
somebody was like, "Did she really just say that?" Like, yeah, I heard, but people are always looking for something, man.
It's the
Um,
social media era, man. Everybody's trying to dissect everything.
but look,
Right.
the coverage of basketball period is changing because you have uh TNT, the cast. Remember, they're done. They were done in the last final series for Western and Eastern conferences. So I've
Yeah.
heard, my brothers were
They're
asking me,
going,
were they talking about moving to ESPN?
no, they are going to ESPN.
Okay.
So
Okay.
here's what
But
happened.
is Ernie and Charles Barkley going, are they going to
Yeah.
ESPN?
So here's the thing that they negotiated. They negotiated that they're gonna move the TNT is gonna move to ESPN, but they're gonna stay in the TNT studios. They're not moving to New York or because ESPN is based out of Connecticut.
Yeah.
They're like, fuck y'all. We're staying in Atlanta. We're
I was going
keeping
to
all of our producers. We're keeping all of our everything's
they
gonna be
whole
the
crew.
same.
They want their
The
whole
whole
team.
crew. We want the whole crew. Everything's gonna stay the same. The only thing that's changing is ESPN.
So
And
what the fuck was this nigga Shaq crying for?
a lot of people are saying that because ESPN is going to incorporate certain things that only, like that it's an ESPN thing, um, that, like they may not be able to curse or do like the off the, like kind of like
Okay, yeah. If
off the cuff type of comedy and shit where like they was talking about how Charles Barkley wants to stay one more night in New York to get the street meat with the white sauce.
right. Hey, no
What
more
the fuck
street
is
meat with the
wrong?
So ESPN go. You think
What the fuck is wrong?
ESPN gonna try to cut that shit out?
Charles Barkley said he might not make it through his contract.
Mm. Man,
Like,
look, but we talked about like how you got all the athletes who are covering covering sports now, and a lot of them, are doing the podcast. I think
Right.
they should have just moved it to the podcast format.
Nah, it's not the same. You
It,
want that? You want
ESPN ain't
that
gonna be the
pre-game?
same either.
You want the pre? They're still gonna do a pre-game and a post, and it's not gonna be. So everybody thought that it was gonna be. Maybe they join like a Stephen A. Smith and Michael Wilbon or whoever, whatever. But it's not going to be that. They're going to do their own individual thing.
You don't think that they could still like have they're experienced enough, you know what I'm saying, to kind of have a still that type of feel?
It's not the same if you're not getting the visuals that come with it. Like
I'm
they're all about.
saying you don't think they would be able to get access to interview and all of that stuff and still like stream the shit
Yeah,
live?
of course,
Why not?
of course.
Yeah.
We want them. We want to see them live, pre-game, post-game, to get their reactions and things like that. Like it's not the same if you're doing it in a podcast format.
Yeah, I mean, but I'm saying like a show, like we get on if we doing our pregame, post-game talk about all of the stuff like now, but they just have a better, better setup, better production and all of that kind of stuff. I think it could work, but what the fuck do I know? I still
Yeah.
think they should have taken it in their own hands and just not even said we gonna rock ESPN, but it is what it is. We'll see how the shit works out. But that,
Absolutely.
I was saying like Shaq was crying and shit, like it was the last day of
last day of school.
Yeah,
he moved away some shit. I didn't take any of that shit serious, but I mean, it is. They've been doing it for a long time, and I don't even know all the logistics behind it and all the crazy shit that was going on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Being Gaming said podcast format will be dope, but I see what he's saying. Better to leave it classic. Okay. Look, he's Al Sucks at Mock Draft said put this show on ESPN over the inside the NBA crew. Shaq's takes make me feel like he doesn't even watch basketball anymore.
Hey, Al Sucks at Mock Drafts. We appreciate it, but check this out. The funny thing is, that's what makes the show. That half these motherfuckers, half the time they're not even talking basketball. They just talking old man shit, and it's just funny to see these motherfuckers kind of go back and forth, and then every now and again they'll talk some basketball, trash the current players. Like,
well, because Shaq has the old school takes. Like he's looking for like bigs to play like bigs in his era.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But the game
absolutely.
is, it's changed. It's not like that, but
absolutely. But it's funny though.
Yeah, the shit is funny. Those motherfuckers are funny. Like
it's definitely entertaining. Back to the back. Oh, go ahead.
No,
ahead,
I was gonna say Al Sucks and Mock Drafts had a comment about the game. If you want to start going back.
Yeah, I was about to say get back to the game, man. We'll I think Pascal Siakam, shit, he didn't have a great game. You talk about Jalen Williams. Pascal was 3 of 11 from the field. He went to the free throw line. 7 rebounds, 4 assists, 15 points, minus 15 and plus minus. Nobody really. I mean, Miles Turner had a good game, if you want to say that. 6 of 12 from the field, 16 points.
Yeah,
rebounds,
Miles Turner has had moments, but it's like it never. Miles Turner's moments kind of mirror what Indiana went through in this game. Like I don't know if you saw that one dunk he had, like late in the game, but then the next play down, I think he let Wallace grab a rebound over him. Cason Wallace grabbed a rebound over him, and he could have ended the possession. OKC had like 3 or 4 offensive rebounds in a row and just kept taking. I'm talking about on one possession and just kept, getting a shot, getting offensive rebound, taking a shot, getting offensive rebound. Like, I don't know. It's just like sometimes they'll have a push. Well, in this game, they would have pushes and then they would go into a lull and OKC would just pull away. They got it within 12 points at one point, right? OKC called a timeout. and then they went on like a 9-point run when they came back out. Like,
Man, that was in the third quarter.
yeah,
Third quarter. I was like, damn, they had cut it from like 20 to like 13.
right.
And then as soon as they called a timeout, OKC goes on their own run and runs that shit right back up to 20.
Yeah, man. It's crazy.
Hey, man, like you said from the top, man, SGA having his way, doing what he wants.
Oh, yeah.
Being Game was talking about the Shaq and them talking about they fight each other and race each other.
Yeah.
But yeah, like that's the shit that makes the visual part, right? Like having the studio and having Studio J out in Atlanta, like having that shit right there, it makes it different than them sitting down in like a, sitting down in the studio in like a more formal format. Like I don't think they will flourish in that regard. Like they need to have kind of like that open space where they could do goofy shit. You know what I'm saying? And Shaq falls out his chair and trips over the fucking mic wires and shit.
Bean Gaming said Shaq is the GOAT though. Chill out. So, I mean, Shaq, listen.
Hey, Al Sucks in Mock Draft said the last good.
Yeah, Shaq, Shaq has, to me, I think he has legitimate takes. It's just It's not the stuff that people want to, like the younger viewers want to hear now, because they're just used to the style of this game, and they'll be looking at it just like if we were on here saying stuff, they're gonna be like, oh, shut that shit up, y'all old heads or whatever. That's how a lot of these young cats try to come out.
Hey!
Oh, Scotty boy! Hey, yo! Hey, Scotty boy! Hey, did you see that shit in the Discord?
Back, baby.
Hey, did you see it in the Discord, Bong?
Yeah.
Hey, Scotty boy! That wasn't just a win. That was a win-win.
Win-win.
You
win. Hey, that's good shit right there. Scotty boy say, "We back, baby." We back.
Yeah.
He said,
hey, engineer said, my boy out the trenches. Hey, Scotty boy said, no more McDonald's. We got Benihana's, baby.
Man, that's crazy.
Hey,
that's crazy.
Congrats, Scotty boy. Let's start putting some of them together, man. Put some more of them wins. Put a string of them joints together.
Yes, indeed, bro. That's good shit, man.
Okay, let's see. Oh, look, E-Bean Gaming said, I'm an old head. I guarantee the majority of us old heads in here. Nah, hey, E-Bean Gaming, we have a mixed group in here. Like, I'm talking about 17 to, shit. Somebody was like 50 something last time. Yeah. So, I mean, there's all different kinds of, ages.
Yeah, we got a diverse group, man. Wait till football season rolls around, man. It's
coming soon to a theater near you. Hey,
right now, basketball. Hey, the basketball guys in the chat been holding us down though. Like,
for sure,
for real, man. Like that shit is dope.
Are we trying to coordinate to get to one of these days in Oxnard?
Oh yeah,
we're gonna be able to make it.
Sure.
Okay.
Hell yeah. Reporting live, man. Reporting live. I'm gonna be going crazy during. Yes, indeed. I already told you. Mock draft. We're gonna have to do something, man. We're gonna have to do something.
Oh, look, Scotty boy said it too. He said, I'm going crazy football season. We got a lot of football heads up here, man. And engineer said, stop, Bong. Don't get me started.
Hey, y'all, it looked like y'all about to sign Nick Chubb. It says Texans expect to sign Nick Chubb so he can share the backfield with Joe Mixon, man. I know we talking basketball tonight, but
is it a bad
Dizzle? Yes, indeed.
Oh shit.
So
is you finished or you done?
Right.
Put some respect.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Is that a bad move though?
That was a good move.
I've sucks at mock draft said old ass backfield, but look.
But if you have two of them,
they
stay. Yeah, you keep them fresh late.
Yes.
Keep them fresh late.
And in the Discord, I said, and for y'all who are not in the Discord, go to our YouTube channel, click the link, sign up, join the Discord so you can be in there talking your shit in there too. Um,
Absolutely.
a lot of the stuff we talk, we're bringing into the live chat is because somebody said something earlier, and this is one of the things they were talking about earlier is the actual Nick Chubb possibly going to the Texans. So get your ass in the Discord if you ain't in there.
Yeah,
Um,
man. Yeah,
E
tap
Bean
in.
Gaming said he want the college seasons back. That's coming.
Hey, college season right around the corner.
Yeah, that's
You
coming.
know, they get that
Yeah.
shit. They get that shit cracking.
August.
Look at
Pending medical.
Hey,
Is
listen, man.
is it really to that point now? It's almost done. Is
Oh
pending
yeah,
the
I
medical
believe.
exam?
Yeah, I think that's almost done. Then you
Okay.
got I think the numbers on the Aaron Rodgers shit came out. I think he's he getting like 13 million plus with the Steelers.
Mm-hmm.
So, his little numbers came out for the 1 year. I still think it's malpractice how the Steelers have handled the quarterback position. But again, we'll talk once we get to training camp, man. And I just want to let the NBA season play out so that when we really go into football, we can give it its full rollout. But yeah, I think it's just malpractice the way the Steelers have handled the quarterback position
Mm-hmm.
since they knew Ben Roethlisberger was a year or two away from hanging it up, and they coddled him, and now I feel like they're coddling Aaron Rodgers as well as he steps
Mm-hmm.
into the building. But
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Dizzle, I saw that. So what you think about Underwood? You think he taking your squad back to the promised land? Because he was number one overall, right? Like the entire class. Let's say he's a quarterback, Bryce Underwood.
Okay.
Um,
Going to Michigan.
yeah.
Is that the one that turned down? No. Who turned down some money to go to?
He said we them boys. Okay.
Hey. Damn, come on, man. Is that a shot? Is that a veiled shot at me?
It might be.
I don't be knowing some stuff.
Oh, okay. Scotty Boy said he feels like Underwood is a little overhyped. Well, I mean, you gonna see real soon.
Man,
I mean, he has the ability. What is he about 6'5", 6'4", 6'5"? And yeah, he flipped from LSU. Dizzle is saying it.
that's the one.
Yeah.
That's the one that for the bread, right? Michigan paid him like 15, 10, 12, 15 million, something crazy like that.
And look,
there's
and we talking about age. Engineer says Bryce Underwood not even a year older than me. Reclassification is crazy. Reclassing is a crazy thing, dog. Crazy thing.
Yeah.
I remember back when we were hooping in Arizona. I had already spent my redshirt freshman year at a 4-year before I transferred to go JC. And when I went to the JC, man, them dudes were older than me, and they were just coming out of high school.
Yeah.
And that was a regular thing for them, though. I'm like, I can only imagine if I had a year, maybe even 2, depending on how late your birthday is. Like,
yeah, man.
you got
I
one of
told you
them October, November joints.
I'm dealing with that with my son.
I
He got a late
know.
birthday. We put him in school early. Shit, he's younger playing. He's a year early playing against kids that's like 2 years that reclassed twice.
Right.
Now
Crazy.
he 12-year-old playing up against dudes that's got beards and mustaches and shit.
But then got the Siakam mustache.
that shit that
Right. You could twist that bitch at the ends. Like, hey man, how old is this dude? Hey man.
E Bean Gaming. I believe Shador is definitely going to be part of the circus, and There's going to be
The way they talking, he gonna be the starter.
I think they're trying to make him earn it.
So you
Like,
think they're gonna roll out your boy, the old
uh,
wily vet? It ain't.
who Flacco,
Yeah, Flacco. It ain't gonna be Gabriel.
Kenny Pickett, or Gabriel. Yeah.
No.
If there's a rookie that starts, it's going to be
look,
Shador.
look at EB Game and said, "Let me see your birth certificate."
Yo, that's crazy. But yeah, man. If they go with the vet, it's going to be Flacco. If they go with a rookie, it's going to be Shador.
Okay, and Outsucks in mock draft says Shador's look bad. Emphasis on bad in training camp so far. I've heard mixed stuff. I've heard some people say he's looking cool. I've
Damn,
heard some people say
outside mock draft, I'm hearing the opposite.
Yeah.
I'm hearing he's been on.
I heard some say that he had some bad days, but if you're talking about comparison between the two rookie QBs, they saying he's shining over Gabriel. From what I'm hearing, but I don't know.
Oh wow! Look at engineers' comments.
Sam Darnold,
getting roasted during OTAs. They asked McDonald if he's going to start Milroe. Wow.
Ooh.
Damn.
Weren't they just saying that Darnold was looking sharp as shit?
Hey,
this shit is crazy. Like
if Sam Darnold's looking bad, it's an indictment. It becomes an indictment on the offensive coordinator, and it also speaks highly to what your boy Kevin, what's my man over in Minnesota, the head coach and offensive coordinator, or the play caller in Minnesota.
Me too. It is
Kevin something.
O'Connell.
Kevin O'Connell. Yeah. So
I'm like, damn. I'm sitting here like, that shit would have bothered me.
Yeah. So Kevin O'Connell.
Yeah.
Shit, he made Kirk Cousins look good. Then he turned around and made Sam Darnold look good.
Yeah.
No, is he the new
and your boy who stepped in when Cousins got hurt for a couple games? What was his name? Kid that played. Did he play for
with the Patriots or something? Right?
No. He played.
He played with the 49ers. It was. He came from the 49ers. Oh, you talking about the ball headed?
Yeah. He played for Tennessee. What the fuck was his name?
He played for a gang of teams.
I can't think of his fucking name. Anyway, go ahead. My bad. I didn't mean to break up your story, dog.
Josh something.
Not Penix, man.
No,
Dobbs. There we go. Yeah. Tennessee, and when I'm saying Tennessee, I'm talking college, not the Titans.
No, I think he might have played for the Titans. He played for a gang of teams, bro.
Okay.
I remember a game. Look, I remember a game where he played against the Cowboys and he was playing for Tennessee. You don't remember that game? It was a Thursday night game. The Cowboys almost lost, that they shouldn't have lost. Josh Dobbs was the fucking quarterback. Josh Dobbs been on like 10, 12 teams, bro.
Hey, I mean, he did his thing for a couple games in Minnesota and then just kind of fell off. But yeah.
So,
but my bad. Go ahead, man.
So what I was saying was, is Kevin O'Connell the new Sean McVay or the new Kyle Shanahan in Minnesota? Somebody that, hey, give me all the offensive weapons. I can take any quarterback, teach him my system, and we can go and win 12, 13, 14 games. Because, they just kept falling short in the playoffs. They won 14 games last year.
Yeah, but listen, Cousins was, you talking about Minnesota. Yeah, Cousins was putting up crazy numbers there, and they were winning games. Remember that that run they had? And no, but they did that a couple times, not the 14 games, but some really good regular seasons, and then they just don't make it happen in the playoffs.
Yeah, Scotty boy, Dobbs definitely doesn't need football. He's a fucking engineer. Like he said
he just said that too, aerospace engineer.
Yeah,
engineer said it.
Yeah. So but no, I'm talking about, so imagine Kirk Cousins wasn't that great. but he made him look good. Then they get rid of Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins goes to Atlanta, loses his job to Michael Penix. They bring
Mm-hmm.
in Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold wins 14 games. And I think with Kirk Cousins, they had won. I think the previous year they had won like 13 games with Kirk Cousins, but like they had the most wins by one score or something
Mm-hmm.
crazy like that. So
Mm-hmm.
like he's squeezing the juice. He's getting the most out of all these subpar, all this subpar talent. And it really speaks to the lack of talent at the quarterback position. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's looking for the next great quarterback, somebody that can lead the team. Um, Damn, if Sam Darnold doesn't pan out in Seattle, wow. Like that speaks to how great O'Connell was. And then, should you guys have let go of Geno Smith? I know Al Sexton Mock Draft was talking about that in the Discord, talking about like why would we let go of Geno Smith for a less mobile Geno Smith? Like Sam Darnold's a statue back there. He's not going anywhere. So you're expecting him to be high IQ. He can, put the ball in places that Geno Smith apparently couldn't have or
Uh-huh.
couldn't. So we'll see, man. This is going to be an
Well,
interesting season for a lot of quarterbacks.
but I would add to the Seattle situation that you have a dog at running back. You got a number one receiver. Um, I would just did they draft any receivers? I know we had a
Yeah.
Seattle
So
fan.
remember they brought in your boy Cooper Kupp.
Cooper Cup. Yeah, that's right. That's right. They got
Yeah,
Cup when Dallas
yeah,
didn't scoop him up, thinking they were
yeah.
gonna get him because the Eastern Washington receivers coach was on Dallas squad.
Was on Dallas squad. Yeah, yeah.
Um,
He being Gamer said that's where he remembers Dodge from the Titans. I remember that because he played and almost beat the Cowboys. It took him down to the wire, and the Cowboys finally won. It was that season where Dak was throwing a lot of picks that was just going off of receivers' hands,
yeah,
and they were like, "Oh, is he interception prone or whatever?"
yeah, but
But
he for sure went to Tennessee though. That I mean,
Tennessee to school, yeah,
University of Tennessee.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. But I
he
think
was a
Dodge
volunteer.
made a bunch of stops. I think he was with San Francisco. He was with Arizona. He was with Minnesota. He was with Tennessee. What other teams do I remember him being with? Dobbs has been around, man, and
And
you know,
who's he with now? Is it the
uh,
Patriots? Somebody said Patriots earlier, I think. Is he with the Patriots? Did he went to Pittsburgh too, right? That motherfucker's been around.
he was with
Been around.
Pittsburgh. EB
Um
came in, yeah. Cooper Cup, he got released. I think he got released. Did he get released or did he get traded?
he got released.
He got released by the
Remember he
Rams.
was a free agent and
He
he was
was,
talking and we were like, should the Cowboys get him?
yeah.
But oh, and you know what? Damn. Um I'll circle back to this, but there's a California receiver that Dallas I wanted to talk to you about. Um I want to say he may have gone to Narbonne or something out here
Okay.
for a hot second, but when we move to some other points and I got a chance to look it up, I'll circle back and bring it back up. But yeah, I was gonna say this. Alf Sucks in Mock Draft says I love Torrey Horton. He would have been a day two pick if he didn't have that knee injury. So he was a Colorado State receiver, and he's gonna be in Seattle. He got drafted by Seattle. And I do remember him putting in some work, man. But he was also talking that shit when Colorado and Colorado State, I think it was him and the quarterback. They were the two who were talking, right? When
Mm-hmm.
Shador did the shit.
Oh yeah, where it's, put up
Yeah, yeah.
the little wrist thing. Um,
Oh, and yeah, so Al Sucks in Mock Drafts. Is Seattle your squad? I'm trying to remember. So he says Seattle has one of the best RB rooms in the league. Charbonnet, Walker could
could
both
both be,
be RB
yeah.
ones. Oh man, listen, Kenny McIntosh. I wanted the Cowboys to get him, dog. I think he has so much potential, but the problem with him is I just don't think they see the pop in him. So and of course with Charbonnet and Walker, he's not really going to get a real opportunity out there in Seattle. He'd have to go somewhere where somebody really needs a running back. But he can catch. He's got speed. He can do a little bit of everything, man. I thought he was one of the running backs who was kind of flying under the radar. And he's out of Georgia. But yeah, man, for sure. They got some RBs, but so that was my point though, Bong. You were saying that because we've been talking about a lot of stuff, and I guess we just abandoned the NBA shit. So anyway,
we'll get back to it.
It's all good. It's all good. So
KP rolling over in his grave.
look.
KP, we'll get back to it in a second.
You said that Sam Darnold would be basically a statue back there. But it's kind of like he would have more weapons in Seattle, I would think. So that would kind of make it easier for him with his, arm strength, ability to make the throws and all that stuff. Like this is where, all of the stuff people were raving about when he was, come out of SC, he could do this and that and this and that. This is where he should really be able to show it, right? I would think. But who knows?
Hey man, E-Bean Gaming said Cam Scatterbo and Ashton Genty helped me cash a bunch of parlays. Also Jackson Dart. Hey man, I seeing Cam Scatterbo next to what was my man out of the one that got drafted by the Giants. Out of Penn State.
You talking about the running back or the DN?
No, seeing Cam Scatterbo next to
standing next to him, you saying?
Yeah, standing next to man, what is my man name? Why do I forget his name so damn quickly? The number 11 out of that one at Lawrence Taylor's number.
Why the fuck can't I?
Abdul Carter.
Abdul Carter.
Seeing him stand next to Abdul Carter is crazy as hell. That motherfucker is either Abdul Carter's a giant or Cam Scatterbo's a midget because that motherfucker's small as hell.
Hey, they say he's small, can run between the tackles, not crazy speed, runs tough. They were trying to compare him to
Mike
McCaffrey.
Allstott.
No, they were trying to compare him to McCaffrey.
Hell no.
There were a couple people trying to compare him to McCaffrey, dog, and I was like,
call him a poor man's Mike Allstott. You know what did it for me? Cam Scatterbo really made me a fan in their bowl game. Their bowl game where they were going back and forth. He really put it all out there, man. And I think it went into like double overtime or some crazy shit like that. But Cam Scatterbo made a fan out of me when Arizona State went to their bowl game, man, because I'm talking about shit. He had half a jersey by the time that shit was over, getting dragged on, and you know what I'm saying. But yeah, yeah, he's a tank. He's definitely a tank, man. But so hey, man, it's gonna be a fun season, man. NFL is always fun. I think with the addition of sports gambling and obviously fantasy football, what it is for the NFL, it should make for a very interesting season.
He said, "Wait, who gonna be on the Madden cover? Scatterbo, like the Peyton Hillis joint, the 1 year wonder." Hey man, fuck it. Look. I guess we'll bounce back and forth. I see a couple questions. I saw somebody ask another basketball one. Who's better, 06 finals Wade or the 2025 finals SGA?
Mel Gibson, what's up?
Yep, and that's Mel Gibson. Shout out to you.
Y'all know how I feel about 06 Wade. Okay,
so
that was.
Wait, hold on. But isn't SGA doing the same thing that you said Wade was doing? That
Wade,
that should make it a more challenging question for you in particular.
let me go. I love these kind of questions, man. Let me see Wade's stats in the '06 NBA championship. Hold
And
on.
while you're doing that, because the gist of what you were saying last time, from what I remember, you was like Wade was getting drawing the fouls, doing some of the foul baiting, getting to the free throw line. Most of his work was done there. What that's like SGA. You just said Doris Burke was calling him whatever the free throw, whatever he is. So that should make it a tougher question for you to answer, given your take on Wade.
They went six. They went 6 games, right?
Look,
Uh,
Mel Gibson said Wade was getting like 23 free throws a game.
there was okay. So look, okay, boom, peep this. In game one, he went 6 of 10 from the free throw line. Game two, he went 11 of 14 from the free throw line. Game three, he went 13 of 18 from the free throw line. Game four, he went 8 of 9. Game five, he went 21 of 25 from the free throw line. In game six, he went 16 of 21 from the free throw line. Like,
Those last two are crazy.
that's
But
ridiculous.
but I'm
25
saying
free throws, bro.
before that though, SGA is shooting a bunch of free throws too though. Maybe not as many
20,
as the 20 variety. I'll give you that, but SGA
and
is
then,
shooting a bunch of free throws.
but what I'm saying is, it was that what made it apparent to me that, okay, hold on, man, this is some bullshit in here. He's not getting fouled enough to go to the line 25 times in '06.
How many free throws? Okay, engineer said Wade averaged 16 free throw attempts. How many
He,
free throws is SGA averaging? Because if it's like 12, what are we talking? Really, like 2 buckets when
so
you put it
today,
all together?
so today, SGA went to the free throw line
12
uh,
times.
12 times. Okay, so he went 11 of 12 today, right? Let's see, game one.
And Mel Gibson said he's averaging like 11 or 12. So
So
11,
game
okay, let's just say it was 12 versus 16. Depending on how many you make, if you know, we may be talking about what, 4 points, 5 points, maybe. Like,
he went
is
to the
that
free throw line. He went to the free throw line 8 times in game one. So he's averaging less than, what's that, 12, and so he's averaging 10 free throws a game. But what I'm saying is, it's if he continues on this trend, right, where it's somewhere between 12 and 14 free throws, that's 10 and 14 free throws a game. Will we see a game where he goes to the free throw line 25 times? Is what I'm saying. And I think because I'm almost certain, I think Dallas may have went up 2 games, if I recall the series correctly.
this is the thing though. If I'm just talking like just an overview of basketball in terms of like the styles that the two played in. Wade's era was different, obviously, but his team was different too. Like SGA has a squad, like, and a lot of these teams really just let SGA walk them to his spots. Like he takes a lot of shots just freely around like the free throw line and free throw line extended. And he'll take some threes and stuff like that, but he's mid-ranging these guys up and he's getting the fouls. So he's consistently going to get his points. But if you don't have a squad around you, that would mean nothing if everybody else is dump trucks. He also has the better squad compared to what Wade had. His squad is better. Supporting cast. I'm saying if we talking '06, right? So I mean it was
'06,
harder.
'06, Shaq was done.
No, he wasn't done, but I'm saying the entire squad. Like
They had who
let's
was on
think
that
about
squad?
Miami's.
They had Shaq. They had I think GP was on that squad. He was probably washed at the
Not in
time.
his prime.
No, I mean he wasn't in his prime.
Yeah,
I'm trying to remember. I'm trying to recall who was on that '06 squad. Um, it was a weird collection of players.
Eddie House.
Yeah, E House. I mean, it was a weird collection of players. I'll say that. But yeah, I think SGA has the more talent around him. But who would I take? I'd take SGA over '06 Wade. Just my personal opinion. But I told you how I feel about that. How I feel about that championship, and I've mentioned that in the past, and I talked about the free throw shooting specifically, and um, so I'm definitely taking. I think that finals was rigged. I think Mark Cuban had got into it with the league over something, and it was political. And
So
somehow I think the league was trying to send a message to him that nobody's bigger than the program.
so Derek Anderson, you remember Derek Anderson from Kentucky?
He
He
was
was on the
tough.
squad.
Came from the
Sh-
Spurs.
yeah, Shandon Anderson,
Okay.
Earl Barron,
Uh,
Doliak. You remember him out of Utah, the center?
yeah. Okay.
Udonis Haslam, Gerald Fitch, Jason Capono, Alonzo Mourning, Shaquille O'Neal, Gary Payton, James Posey, Wayne Simeon, Dwayne Wade, Antoine Walker, Matt Walsh, and then I was also going to say Jason Williams was on there, and then
Capono was tough at the time.
Capono was
It was the
knocking down
shooter.
shots,
And then you had what'd you say,
and
Jay?
then Darrell Wright was on there too.
And again,
James Posey was
Posey was
legit.
tough. The boy from damn, what's the shooter? The other shooter.
Who?
That you mentioned. You mentioned the other shooter. He played with Bron for a little bit as well.
And
House.
House wasn't on
Eddie
this
House.
one.
Oh, the Eddie House wasn't on the team?
No.
I thought you said Eddie House.
Yeah, somebody in the chat said Eddie House, but House was not on the squad.
Yeah. But again, I think Mel Gibson says this whole Thunder group is unproven and young without Shea averaging 35 plus. They go nowhere. I mean, he's the motor. He's the motor. He's the motor. But
Okay,
on any
yeah,
on
go
any
ahead.
given night, Jalen Williams can get busy. I haven't seen anything, especially in the finals, from Chet. Like Chet looks like the moment might be too big for him. But as a third option on the squad, he's definitely he has his moments. But if he was a second option, OKC would be cooked right now. But
And I would say to that, Mel Gibson, we're talking about even if you feel they're unproven because they haven't won a chip, okay, I get that. But compared to the field, like what were they, 68-14? And most people have them or had them even before the season started. People were picking them as the favorite to win the championship, and now they really are. So I mean, yeah, they're unproven, but they're still producing in comparison to the rest of the league and to their opponents.
the funny thing is, with a team like OKC, right? You can have Lou Dort give you
Who came back down to earth today,
3 points.
and he hit 5 threes in the first game.
Yeah. The other, well, shit. Let me see. Hartenstein gave you 3 points, but you can live with all those, all that short change just because you have a depth of talent. And the funny thing is, we can talk about how they didn't give you anything points wise, but Hartenstein, Lou Dort, they're still doing things on the defensive end. Their bench goes so deep defensively that you can afford to have games where a guy only does, gives you 3
He's
points
in Case and
offensively,
Wallace.
but
So
but there's like their contributions. I saw Hardenstein was all over the place as far as grabbing rebounds, just contesting shots.
somebody, right? Somebody. That's what I'm saying. Like somebody on OKC is gonna do something.
Yeah.
Like most times, and they've proven that most times, 68 out of 82 times in the season, they got it done. They're in the finals now. Like people had them as the favorite. You were surprised that Indiana won the first game. Anybody in this chat, maybe there's like maybe one or two people who would say that they weren't surprised, but I would say the majority would say that they're surprised Indiana took a game. Most people were saying sweep from
Or as
what I remember.
Chris Broussard from First Things First would say, Nap Town!
and,
Giving it
and,
up
Mel,
for
and Mel
Indiana, man.
Gibson. That's why what you asked it's a good question because you're saying that's because of SGA, right? You're saying that they're still getting it done and they're considered the favorites because of SGA. So here, okay, you say, can we agree why SGA isn't the best player in the world? If he wins Finals MVP, SGA has had 3 consistent years, averaging 30 plus on 50% shooting, and was robbed MVP last year. How is he not the best player? I remember you talking about SGA before Mel Gibson, but let me go back and address where you say it's because of SGA when we're comparing the two teams with him and Wade. If you take Wade out of the equation for Miami, what happens to them?
They're
The
not even a
same
playoff.
shit. That's what I'm saying. So it's hard to just say, oh, it's
But and the
SGA
funny
is
thing
running
about
away
it,
with it.
don't bring me back to the '06 Miami team because it brings back bad memories of the Lakers because the rift between Shaq and Kobe was that when it was time for Kobe to ascend and Shaq to take the back seat, he refused to take the back seat. He still wanted to be one and for Kobe to be two. But as soon as he went to Miami, in order to win that championship, he took a secondary role to D Wade, something that his pride and his ego wouldn't allow him to do with Kobe. But as soon as he got to Miami, he was like, "Hey man, this is Flash's team." You know what I'm saying? Like this is D Wade's team. So but
And I think a couple of things played into that, which I mean, he was already the man with the Lakers. You know what I'm saying? So it was kind of like this is my shit type deal. Where when he was transitioning to the new squad, then you have more, and you have a old wily vet in Pat Riley who's telling you, you know, this is how it should go and yada 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 and all that kind of stuff. They probably sold Shaq on the idea of actually doing that before they brought him in there. Versus why would you bend at all when you trying to prove a point where you built this
hey,
shit? You understand what I'm
hey,
saying? Like with the Lakers,
Al,
why would you relent at all? Like
hey,
nigga,
Al
I
sucks
built
in
this
my
shit.
draft. Al sucks in my draft says he respected Wade. There's no way you cannot respect Kobe when you guys won 3 championships together and you guys' numbers, Kobe and Shaq's finals numbers through their LA career together were almost identical as far
Man,
as like
but there was no contention between Shaq and Wade like it was with him and Kobe. So
right.
there's no reason for him to like even try to have a tug of war with Wade. That's what I'm saying.
Right. And I think Shaq was smart enough in that moment to know, hey man, I'm on a new team. I have to play the good guy, right? Um, but yeah, man, it was easier for him to acquiesce to being second string. With Kobe, he had, like you said, he had been used to being number one.
Right.
And even though his work ethic, even though his decision making, hey man, I got injured on company time, I'm gonna heal the injury on company time, didn't align with him being the number one. And Kobe was the guy that was incessantly in the gym. Like, hey man, I'm playing pickup games. I'm playing, preseason. I'm playing before the season starts in the summer. Taking every practice serious to where like the OGs on the team are like, hey, young kids, slow down, man. We got a long season to go. Like that's a number one. Whereas Shaq wasn't willing to do all those things. And that's fine if you don't want to do that, but just accept your role as number two and let the
Mm.
number one You
No.
get, but that's what I'm saying is that's the way I think about it. But
Right. But the difference is you can do all those things, but if you run your show through me, then I don't give a fuck. And that's how Shaq was saying, I don't give a fuck if I come in and work myself into shape and all that stuff. Yeah, maybe it's not the ideal way of what you think, how you think leadership should look. But as we play and go through the course of the season, the fact is, I'm the most dominant motherfucker in this building. So shut the fuck up. Give me the ball. I'm the guy. I'm the number one.
yeah,
And
yeah,
I mean, come on. We talking about NBA players with egos and the mentality of I'm number one. I've been number one. I done won championships doing it this way. Like, let's roll. If you don't like
yeah.
it, and like you said, I got hurt on company time, so I'm a get well on company time. It's almost the same shit of where it's like you fed up with a job and you like, man, I'm out of here. So that's just what Shaq was on. Some I'm out of here type shit. Y'all motherfuckers ain't, it's either y'all rock with me or him or whoever was saying it, whether it came from Kobe or it came from Shaq.
K Bird, top of the top, man.
Oh, what's good, K Bird?
Bean Gaming made a hell of a comment. Mentally, Shaq probably wasn't ready for all that back in the day. I'm sure he would have done things way differently if he could do it all over again. And I believe that. I think at the time you couldn't tell Shaq everything you just said with his resume, what he brought to the game, how dominant he was, and this is still a back to the basket league at the time. You couldn't tell him shit. But if he had it all to relive and do it all over again, I think he does it differently because him and Kobe could have ran off. If Shaq had better work ethic, they could have ran off maybe 6 or 7. They were that good. And this is a time, this is before Big
They
Three,
could have
right?
they could have ran off another one if he would have stayed
Yeah.
in LA.
Yeah, absolutely. They probably still could have ran off another one. But again, it would have took Shaq kind of like doing what he did when he went to Miami. Like, hey man, you know what? I'll take the back seat out. But
But it's the motivation. Look, what I'm saying is Shaq, again, there's no contention between him and Wade, no issues with him and nobody on with Miami. He's going into that situation like I gotta make this shit work so I can get the chip. And then in the end game, it looks like I came out on top. Like I went to a different squad and now we won the championship. I'm the reason, Of course he's taking the backseat to Wade, but he's still looking at himself like, nigga, I'm the reason why we winning the championship.
Engineer made a comment, and I agree with it. He says like making a head coach of OC.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he said,
yeah. Who the
just
fuck
go
is
to
taking that
another
back
team.
step?
Yeah, no, I feel it. I feel it. But again, that's the natural progression, and a lot of egos involved. Let's hold on. Let me get back to what's going on in the chat because there's a conversation about SGA. I think
What, K
Mel
Bird?
Gibson no, Mel Gibson started the conversation like, why is SGA? I think a few minutes ago, why is SGA not?
Yeah, I think you went off when I brought
I
that
think he
one
said,
up.
why is SGA not
Where he said, can we agree why SGA isn't the best player in the world?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, we were talking about that.
Okay. I think he doesn't have scoring is one thing, but man, it's the same knock on Steph Curry when they compare him to LeBron James. Whether it's God's gift to you or not, a Giannis being taller and more dominant allows him to do more things. The fact that Jokic can go and give you a triple-double, can give you a 20-20-20, can give you a 60-10-10 because he can grab rebounds and he can still distribute the ball. I mean, it sucks because I think those guys are just more physically gifted, and that's the difference. If we're just talking about scoring, can they score at the clip that SGA can score at? Probably, or close to it. But SGA probably probably wins that battle if we're talking about just scoring. But when you talk about the full scope of things, Jokic can rebound better. He can assist equally. Um, you know, I mean, they took OKC. Didn't they take OKC to 7?
In the last series,
Yeah,
was it 6 or was it 7? It was 6, right? Did they go to Game 7 against Denver? You saying against Denver, right?
right. No, hold on. I'm sorry. That was yeah, right.
Let me see.
Who did Minnesota play?
Oh, you talking about the last series with
Yes,
OKC and
yes.
fuck no.
That went to
OKC in
7.
Minnesota? OKC in Minnesota? Those motherfuckers won one. Remember we were talking I told y'all they would just be satisfied
No.
to win.
I'm talking about OKC to get to the Western Conference Finals. They played Denver.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I
That
thought
shit
you were
went
talking about
7.
OKC in Minnesota. I'm like,
Did,
hell
did,
no.
didn't he go 7?
OKC in Minnesota?
No, OKC
OKC
in
in Denver.
Denver. We're talking about
Yeah.
SGA and Jokic.
Um
Yeah, that went 7 games.
yeah,
Yeah,
that one did.
yeah. So again, we're down to a coin flip game between OKC and Denver, and I think you're asking. We just talked about it. How SGA has so much talent on his team, and it still took you 7 games to get rid of Joker and
Yeah,
the
but and
Supremes.
that speaks more to
Joker
that.
had the Supremes with him.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That speaks more to Jokic and his ability. That's a notch for him. If there's an
FYF
argument
Sports,
between him and
top of the
SGA.
top.
Oh, what's good, FYF in the building. But
Yeah, absolutely.
that's a notch for Jokic and his claim for best player versus SGA. If that's the discussion, like
No, I mean, you think Joker had a better team than SGA?
no,
Oh, okay.
I'm saying it's a notch for
Oh
him
yeah,
in the
yeah, for
argument
sure, absolutely,
because
absolutely, yeah.
his team wasn't as good as OKC.
Oh man, Mel Gibson's
Jokic has a better team. Nah, man.
Mel Gibson, you tripping now?
Listen. And this is what I'm saying. Like people got to stop looking at oh man, you know, Denver won a championship or they have players on the squad that won a championship. They have some, but they're not the same team that won that championship. And like FYF is saying, they were hurt. Meaning Denver, you know, even Gordon was hurt in the last game. What was he hobbled? I said, look, you're gonna wonder why next year he ain't dunking no more because he took that shot and played on
What was
that
that?
hamstring.
Yeah, that was a hamstring. He had a grade 2,
Yeah.
hamstring strain.
Yeah, something similar
Um,
to your boy Curry, but Curry sat out and Gordon played. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, yeah. I mean, so hey,
yeah,
I
hey
love.
K Bird, he said yes, it does. DP, it speaks to Joker's ability. His team was less superior and they fired their coach. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like
Yeah,
hopefully
no,
he's not
sure.
thinking I was saying the opposite. No, that's what I'm
No, no,
saying.
no, no,
Like it
no. Yeah,
speaks
yeah,
to
that's
his
yeah.
ability.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, and again, I love what SGA is doing. SGA, like DP said when we at the top of the show, he's having his way. They letting him get to his spots, and he gets to his spots, and he does
And
damage.
this is
He's he's the engine. He's the engine of the car. But boy, if he ain't in the motherfucking Ferrari,
And this is what the fuck I'm saying. Like K Bird is saying what I'm saying. OKC's roster construction was just much deeper than Denver's. Not just Denver's. Name a team in the NBA who has a deeper squad than OKC. Somebody, please.
yeah.
If you can tell me, then I'll be like, all right, you're right.
Where Hartenstein can have 3 points, but he still made an impact defensively. Like I watched game 2, he's still all over the place. He's still affecting shots defensively. He's still grabbing rebounds. I think he had like 8 or 9 rebounds.
And Engineer says Celtics are the closest. Celtics were probably the closest, but they shot themselves in the foot by shooting all them damn threes. They chose to fall down on their sword and were too stubborn to change their scheme. It was just shoot the threes. If they go in, we win. If they don't, hey, we gonna go down shooting. So that was on the Celtics. They had the talent to do it. And they may be the closest. But again, let me ask this question. Eastern Conference chat, who did y'all have as a prediction preseason or even, kind of leading up to it? Who did you think was going to come out of the East before the playoffs started?
Celtics.
And who did you think was going to come out of the West?
OKC.
That's all.
That was a majority. That was a majority, and I think that was the bet. They were the betting favorites throughout the season. We were headed to OKC Boston finals. Game 3 might get nasty for OKC. Rick Carlisle got something up his sleeve. You guys see how they were defending SGA before the game got out of hand. I think he's not trying to expose the ploy.
And
we'll see.
So FYF to that point, I think it was around that Bong when we were talking about when Indiana made that push to get it within like 13. Right. When they just took off again, when they came out the timeout, took off again, went on like the 9-point run, 9-0 run or whatever. It just seemed like Indiana was like, all right, fuck it. Do you think they were content? Like, man, we stole one. Fuck it. Don't exert all your energy in this one. All right, they'll get this one, but we going back to the crib. With the idea of they think they can win the next 2 at home.
So DP, and I always kind of scoff at the thought process. So this speaks to like player IQ. So if we're talking about high level player IQ, if SGA saw that they were guarding him a certain way and he was having problems with it, do you think he goes back and he says like, hey, listen, or tells the coaching staff, or the coaching staff talks to him and says like, hey, in these situations, we saw that you were having trouble. Like, this is how you combat that? Or do you think because they got the win, they're okay with it and they get caught by surprise in the next game?
Well, if they do something similar to, and let me see what FYF is saying. He says, I think Carlisle was trying to see what adjustments they would make as a chess move, and OKC exposed that they would run back to the 2 big lineup if things are good. Okay, and I'm going to get to that because that's kind of what I was saying. Because we talked about this with Indiana and Carlisle specifically in the New York series, where I think KP was saying that Carlisle was basically trying things, putting a couple players out there, and it was kind of like, if we lose this game, it's okay. I'm just trying to see what I can do next game. So maybe that's what he's doing. But in this series, I think it's a little sketchy to take that strategy with a team like an OKC, because you could find yourself down 2-3-1 just thinking you could fucking give it, all right, well, we'll make the adjustment. Hey, they only got to win 3 more, right? So you got to be careful. You got to get what you can and not really give shit away. But I get what you're saying, FYF. But what I was gonna say, to your question, Bong, let's say they're doing, they're gonna have to make the adjustment, right? You can't just go out and say we won the game, so fuck it, we gonna just do the same old thing. If they play SGA a different way, let's say they blitz or whatever, sort of like they were doing with Anthony Edwards, like OKC did Anthony Edwards. If they give him a dose of their own medicine, like, okay, well, we're gonna get the ball out of SGA's hand, they would have to try to do something differently. Whether that is stagger a couple guys at the top, have SGA run off of a couple of screens, maybe get in some switches and get some mismatches because they were trying to go one-on-one with him without any switch. And like I say, he's just gonna lull you to sleep and walk you down to his spot, give you some body or a jab or something, step back, get some space, and shoot a mid-range in your fucking face. And he's just walking you down. And if you're gonna let him do that all game, he's gonna score like 38 like he did tonight. Anywhere between 30 shit, maybe 40 points. Easy. He can do that consistently. He's shown it even throughout the playoffs, throughout the season as well.
So FYF says OKC can't win if Chet struggles. That's the weakness. What is a good game from Chet? Like, what do you need from him? I don't need much from him. Like what he did tonight to give you what? He gave you what, 15 tonight? Gave you 15, gave you 15 and 6. As a third option, I can live with that.
The energy seemed different with him today, though. I will say that.
It was better than game one, right?
Different. Yeah,
better,
and I'm just saying that, yeah, just the whole team's energy seems different when he's like in the mix, right?
And Mel Gibson said that Halliburton will never play well with OKC's defense. Carlisle can't fix that.
Halliburton isn't being aggressive enough. So I think who are they stopping Halliburton on his floaters when he gets in the lane, drives baseline, drives to the middle? They're not stopping him. He's settling for threes. And he's been doing that, and I'm talking about his offensive game, not where he's getting other people involved. His own offense game where he's putting the ball in the basket. If he gets a little more aggressive, that could change things. But Halliburton, just like y'all say, Chet is the key. I was saying before the series started that Siakam was the key for the Pacers. Bong, last time you were talking, saying who's the guy for the Pacers, and I said most people would say, man, it's Halliburton, right? Because of the heroics and the last second shots and all those kind of things.
He always does the things that we remember.
Right. Yeah. Now he is a facilitator, gets a lot of guys involved. He can run up a bunch of assists. Those things count, right? Because he's assisting on buckets. So he's involved in a lot of plays. The ball's in his hand, so he's making things happen. Siakam, though, like you guys have said, Chet is, I would liken Siakam's impact for Indiana to what you guys are saying Chet Holmgren's is for OKC. Siakam has to, or even if there are those who would say that it's not Chet, it's Jalen Williams, even though you're seeing that they can still win if he's not even, he hasn't played his best. But Siakam needs to play well in order for Indiana to win. If he does not have a good game, if he doesn't show up, it's a wrap for them. They're not going to win, dog. They don't have any, and it
affects Halliburton.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
It does.
Yeah.
One player that I'll say has like stepped his aggression up, and I saw OKC start blitzing his ass. That was Nembhard. Nembhard is playing well. Like he maybe not as good this game as he did in the first, but he's making a difference out there. And if you start having to blitz him like Siakam, you gotta step up and you gotta get involved. You gotta score. They gotta get him the ball. Like offensively, Siakam has to get busy. He has to. And if he don't,
but again,
good night, Irene.
That's where, and again, I know that Mel Gibson is speaking from probably a homer point of view, but there's truth to it. Where he says Siakam and Halliburton will never do well against OKC. OKC and 5, that's aggressive, but the struggles that they have is because of the size that OKC has. And again, remember I told you, Hartenstein didn't have a great offensive game, but what he did was still effective. He still made an impact on the defensive side. He was altering shots, not blocking shots, but altering shots, getting rebounds, changing, changing shots, making people think. You know what I'm saying? When they got in the paint, he jumped out. He jumped out on a TV screen at least a couple of times. Then you have Chet, who's a legit 7+, right? 7 feet plus.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're talking about just arms in the sky, man, that's great backline defense. And then you got defenders like Lou Dort, Alex Caruso, guys
Mm-hmm.
that can actually get up on you, and they can defend multiple players. So it's not just, hey man, just give me your best guard. Like, nah, shit. Alex Caruso, they throw that motherfucker out there against a 5, a 4.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, like the fact is, when we talk about OKC's depth, I don't know if we really give the credit to how deep they can go defensively. It's the
Yeah.
defensive depth that's killing people.
But
Because there's go ahead.
No, go ahead. Finish that thought.
Because there's no star that can really have their way with them.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, you have star players in the NBA. If you're talking about the top 15 to 20 players, they're gonna get numbers. Are they gonna be efficient numbers? I think OKC is willing to let star players get their numbers, but it's not going to be efficient. We're going to make it a long day for you and your second best player. You know what I'm saying? Can your third best, can your fourth best, can your fifth best player beat us?
Well, shit. And speaking of, if you go to that point, you got to look at McConnell. You bring him in the game, you expect him to take care of the ball. He had like 3 turnovers. Like, you can't do that. You can't come in as the backup point guard where they expect you to, it's a change of pace. Now you're running the second unit and you're turning the ball over. And as a matter of fact, I think they had like 20 some odd turnovers. OKC only turned it over like 6 times. That's a huge gap. That's a huge difference. You got to take care of the ball. And I'm talking about everybody is turning that bitch over. Like every single one of them motherfuckers.
Yeah, man.
And you can't win a game like that. You can't win a game like that against a team like that. Like,
OKC is gonna make you beat them with your third best player.
Now, and FYF, I don't know if you're still in the building. I'll ask you this, or anybody else who thinks about basketball, like, schematic wise. So sometimes you have to attack. You have to have a strategy, and I've said this in the other series too. You have to have a strategy to attack a certain player on the defensive end, like you playing offense, trying to get somebody in foul trouble. So we talked about, where's the mismatch? Who has the mismatch? Is there anybody for Indiana who would have a mismatch against anyone from OKC? Even if you say, okay, no, they match up well, okay, well, you still have to figure out, all right, we're gonna attack this. Maybe it's this side of the floor, or this particular player. Why are we not seeing them put Siakam in some exchanges with Nembhard if he brings the ball up, or for a pick? I always talk about these guard to guard picks, right? Or in Siakam's case, forward to guard, where there's Siakam to Nembhard, Siakam to Halliburton, where maybe Siakam's picking SGA, whoever's guarding SGA, Siakam's coming to pick him so he can get the switch on SGA. Now you're posting Siakam free throw line extended, or having him turn to face up and attack SGA at the basket so you can get him in foul trouble. If you're letting him be in cruise control the entire time on offense and defense, what the fuck are you doing? Like,
essentially what they did to Jalen Brunson in the previous series, right? Force him to defend on the other end. Is SGA a defensive liability like Jalen Brunson is?
That you won't know unless you attack him.
Yeah. But I think SGA has,
and we're not talking about, there's a difference between active hands in the passing lane, deflections, and creating turnovers versus I've got you isolation, I turn quickly, make a move to the baseline, you have to stop it.
Yeah.
Or
you have to body up.
yeah, you got to body up because I just swung through and made a quick move to the basket. Either you're gonna foul me or I'm just blowing by you, and now it's a your bigs are at a disadvantage because now I'm gonna draw the foul against them, or I'm gonna
Mhm.
draw them to me, dish to. The problem is, who are you dishing to down low? Because Miles Turner is hanging out around the 3-point line because he wanted to shoot the ball. Like, you
Mhm.
guys got to have some kind of concerted effort to attack these motherfuckers in the paint, because if you don't get any of them in foul trouble, what are we really doing? Like,
Yeah.
sometimes it's not even we got to run the score up. Hey man, like, strategically get motherfuckers in foul trouble, because now you shift their lineup. So now they have to make adjustments. And they're already making adjustments by FYF was saying they'll go to the two big lineup with Hartenstein and Holmgren.
Yeah.
I mean, you gotta attack so they can't even so they don't have the ability to do that. Get one of them in foul trouble. Focus on somebody.
Scotty Boy says he's definitely a liability on defense, but the Pacers don't have that star to go at SGA. Or again, and we always talk about how herky jerky or how quirky Halliburton's game is. So I think he a lot of times settles for the three. Um,
Tough.
and
A
maybe
lot of
that's a
times.
maybe that's a trend or it's an NBA thing, but yeah, if you don't have somebody that's constantly attacking, a la Jalen Brunson, SGA, uh, who's somebody that's in the Ant Edwards who can get to the basket at will and can't be stopped. A Jason Tatum when he feels like it. Like, yeah, man, it hurts. It hurts. It hurts your team offensively. Hey, E Bean Gaming, before we get too far, you said Neat Smith Cash, McConnell Cash, Caruso Cash. Man, get in the Discord, E Bean Gaming. Can
Yes,
you
yeah.
please join the Discord? If you guys haven't joined the Discord yet, please join the Discord, E Bean Gaming. Man, we love you. We have an NBA top. We have an NBA. We have an NBA
The NBA
section in
channel.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah, NBA channel where you can actually put your picks in there. Put your picks in there. Like, hey, let us know, hey, what's good? You know what I'm saying? I know the
We
game
just
is to be sold. The game is to be sold, not
not
told.
told.
But
Yeah,
you feel
yeah.
me? But hey, man, engage with us in the Discord, man. And every now and again, put your picks in there, man. Folks will definitely love to hear that shit, man. Especially as we get closer to the NFL season, man. I'll definitely be betting in the during the NFL season, man. I leave the NBA to KP and DP. You know what I'm saying? That's not really my forte, but yeah, man, hop in the Discord, brother.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. The link is in again. The link is on the YouTube channel and IG. If y'all on IG, we have an IG page under 2Peez and a Bong. The link is in there also. Um, but yeah, let's see. Also, my 7+ Chet field goal to Tim's cash. Okay, yeah. I mean, Chet came out more aggressive this game. He was more involved early on. You know, and I don't necessarily disagree with who. I don't remember who made the point of Chet being. I think it was K Bird who said Chet is key. Um, and FYF I think said it too.
FYF said
FYF
that
said,
if
yeah,
Chet
here it
doesn't
is.
come
Yeah,
through, they can be
yeah. OKC can't win it.
Chet
Chet
struggles.
struggles. That's the weakness. And then K Bird said Chet is the key to the whole series for them. But man, I'm listen. Everybody is thinking, to me, one of the recurring themes is that everybody thinks Carlisle is the better coach in this situation, that he's the better coach. um so I mean, if it comes down to it's coaching, are we giving Indiana the advantage in that department? And are we going to see close games, or are we going to see more blowouts from OKC?
Yeah,
um
I mean, again, that's why they play the game, and I'm sure that this series will continue to have low ratings. This is a um, this is a basketball fans type of series. It's not for casual fans. unfortunately, there's no name. And again, no disrespect, Mel Gibson, if you're still in here, if you're still fucking with us, no disrespect to SGA. He doesn't have a big enough name. And on the other side, Tyrese Halliburton can't even fight off Pascal Siakam as being the best player on the team to get the casual fan to tap in like a LeBron James, like a Steph Curry, like a, say what you will about him, an Anthony Edwards or a Kevin Durant or, one of these established players may be able to do. Not to go off topic and not to go off the range, but Ja Morant, for everything that he's not, right? He's dynamic. And I think Nike has doubled and tripled down on Ja Morant as far as like how they're
yes. hey, because I'm gonna get your ass with look. Yes, you remember the nigga, and I'm gonna get you, sucker. That was like, yes. When the kid was like, "In this poor white trash," he was like, "Yes." Go ahead, keep going. Don't stop now. Yes.
So I think Nike has doubled and tripled down on Ja Morant, and they're standing behind him. They're continuing to pump out product. They're continuing to pump out the Ja line. There's like he's getting all types of shoes, and I don't know if it's that they're trying to use, because he's a similar, if I would say, player type to Anthony Edwards. Would you say?
Okay.
Like they're along the same lines.
I would say, as far as being like a dynamic guard, yeah.
So, and I think because of what Adidas is doing with Anthony Edwards, in order to combat that, Nike is using Ja Morant as the yin to the yang in regards to, like we can market him.
Morant was the Anthony Edwards before Anthony
Edwards,
if that makes sense, right? Until he got into his troubles. But Bong, what you just said is sometimes it's just best to kind of explain it from something that you said. That's what I mean about Jalen Brunson. You know how you just said like Ja Morant is dynamic. You don't describe Jalen Brunson like that,
right?
Like you get what I'm saying? Like, does he have a signature shoe? Are they pushing him like that? It's because Ja Morant is dynamic, and then here you have Anthony Edwards, who's also dynamic. Now, Brunson is workmanlike, but not really like the dynamic type of player that So that's kind of what I was trying to explain the last time when we were talking about the face of the league and Jalen Brunson, where you were like, well, what is dynamic? What are you considering dynamic? But the type of players that you just named is exactly what I was trying to say when we were having that conversation, like a Ja Morant, an Anthony Edwards, like the niggas who have all the flair and all,
I think the above the rim allure means something to, in regards to Ja Morant and Ja Morant and Anthony Edwards. But I think it's strategic from a marketing standpoint because Nike needs something to counteract what Adidas is doing with Anthony Edwards. Because right now, Anthony Edwards, his shoe line, Adidas marketing, man, they are going.
Oh yeah, it's taking.
They're going up, right?
Yeah,
Nike needs somebody, so they can't. You need somebody dynamic that you can get behind. And if Ja Morant has, he's been great when he's healthy and when he's not suspended for goofy shit. If he has another season and Memphis actually does something, because Ja Morant was still down the stretch, he was still, he brought out the new celebrations, and I think it's also because he was doing his thing. He was having game winners. He was going for 30 plus.
Yeah.
So like we just need him to get, make those deep playoff runs. Right now, Anthony Edwards is the league's darling because say what you want. You could talk shit about him, about falling short at a certain point. He's been to the Western Conference Finals 2 years in a row. That's something. You know what I'm saying? Whether he can get over the hump or not is another question, but he's made it to the Western Conference Finals 2 years in a row.
Yeah.
That means something, bro.
And KP always says he considers him face of the league material. And I wish he was on right now to kind of jump in on this part, because I'm not saying that he isn't capable of it. My thing is just that I don't think he necessarily is really wanting it. But even, KP said that doesn't matter. I think it kind of does when we talk about this stuff. But since you were talking about shoes, I was going to say, you got to think about the shoe game and think that also kind of mirrors where these things are, like superstars and face of the league. Like, you're only getting the shoe if you a superstar.
Yeah.
You're only getting those big long-term deals if you're a star, like Iverson with Reebok, like, or Anthony Edwards with Adidas. Like, they're looking for that guy to carry them, or Steph Curry with Under Armour. Like, I mean,
shout out to AI who turned 50 yesterday.
I was just thinking that before I even said something. That's crazy, right? I still remember the Georgetown days, no braids, Allen Iverson, where he was doing the two-hand leans. The 2 foot leans. Yeah.
In the Concord 11 joints.
Come on, man. Come on. That was so dope.
Hey, if FYF is still in here by chance, man, like, man, you say, I think FYF kind of pushed back on AI being a cultural icon. Now
the last time,
it was no question, man. I think Philly just posted something for his 50th birthday. After I posted something in Discord talking about, happy 50th birthday to AI, the cultural icon. And then I go on Twitter, and Philly had a post saying, with AI, like 4 different pictures of him and like different, like, ghetto fabulous shit, and was like cultural icon. Crazy. Like, and that was it. That was the post, like cultural icon. So, you know what I'm saying? AI was definitely that dude, man. But to get back on track.
Wait, hold on. Before we get back on track, speaking of cultural icon, I'll talk about cultural icons, because my son asked me earlier. He's like, he's like, yo, Dad, did you ever root for Duke? Like, did you like Duke? I said, fuck no. I said, look, if you grew up when I grew up, they beat the Fab Five. So it was like
all the way.
It was like forget Duke all the time from that point forward. Now you talk about the Fab Five. Culturally, can we think of more important?
Maybe a UNLV.
Yeah, that's UNLV. It's a discussion right there.
But yeah, I mean, those two. It was those two between Michigan and UNLV.
But culturally though, I think it was the Fab Five.
Michigan for sure. I mean, between Weber, Jalen Rose,
the black socks, the shorts, like, come on.
Yeah, man, it was different. It was different. In an era, they ushered in that Allen Iverson era. Because before then, everybody was wearing the tighty whities.
Yeah.
You did?
Dizzle back in the building, Fab Five, baby.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Look.
Are we talking about Lil Wayne?
Basketball, what Lil Wayne was to that wave of rappers.
Yeah, absolutely. You know what I'm saying? But see, I think, and I don't really want to get into that, and Dizzle will have that conversation offline, me and you, hopefully sometime tomorrow. But
hey, he said that shit was live to be a part of, man. I'm pretty sure you got stories.
Oh, absolutely.
Love to hear them.
Absolutely. But AI, well, I'll tell you. I don't even want to go there. I don't want to go down that rabbit hole.
We ain't talking about artificial intelligence for the young folks who may have jumped in.
Bubba Chuck, Allen Iverson. You know what I'm saying? Like, if it wasn't for Kobe and the Lakers and me being a Laker fan, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was Allen Iverson. Like, I love AI, man. Like, he's the only motherfucker. Like, I'll rock like shirts and shit. It's only Kobe, Jordan, and then I fucks with AI.
Oh, Dizzle said, bro, I balled with C. Webb and Jalen Rose at my school gym. I know that was crazy.
That's dope.
Hey, I ran into Jalen Rose downtown. This is like, like maybe 5-6 years ago or something like that. But just in passing, because a lot of the ESPN cats were down there whenever Jalen Rose worked for ESPN, because I don't know how
Yeah.
long it's been. But
Yeah.
they'd be down there because Staples Center is down there. So you catch somebody walking through downtown here and there. That motherfucker's tall, man. That motherfucker's a legit 6'9", and to be like able to play the point guard position, that's crazy. The way
It's
that he
not.
played it, like it's crazy.
Yeah, man.
Um,
Whew. Hey,
yeah.
man.
Well.
So anyway, I was talking about. So we're talking about the shoe thing.
Mm-hmm.
Funny enough, SGA has a shoe with Converse. Now Converse got bought out by Nike, and they're a part of Nike. So SGA has a shoe with Converse that we've seen images of it. He plays in them,
Mm-hmm.
but they haven't been released yet. And how they're marketing it is funny. But again, we talk about the big brands, and then we talk about Converse.
Which is under
Tyrese
Nike, right?
Halliburton. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what I was saying. I said Converse was bought out by Nike.
Yeah.
So it's still part of Nike, but it's like okay, you over there. And then Tyrese Halliburton has a shoe with Puma.
Listen,
And
man, the only Converse I remember were the grandma mas that had the
Ooh,
you remember them joints?
with the React juice.
Yeah, the React juice in them.
Ooh, the grandma mas. Hey. Hey man, the grandma mas was cold.
Yeah.
The little black, the black with the teal.
Yeah.
Black with the teal joint on them.
Had a pair, man.
So again, Tyrese Halliburton is a Puma guy.
Mm-hmm.
And these are it goes to show you, like, if you're the guy, man, you're not fucking with Puma. You're not fucking with.
So why is LaMelo messing with Puma?
LaMelo was a part of that young crowd where they probably offered him a hellified bag. LaMelo Ball is probably making more than Tyrese Halliburton on his Puma.
I'm pretty sure,
right? Because of his aura and his influence on the younger crowd, and his shoes move for Puma. Like, he's a lifestyle shoe. He has some basketball shoes. All his shoes really do well. He had his first ones that came out really took off. So again, that's different. But as far as Halliburton, you don't see Puma pushing his shoe. He has a shoe. He had to come to a press conference after game 1 and put his shoe on the fucking table. That means we're not even marketing your shit.
Like the waters in the shit that you drink. They motherfuckers are like, what are those?
Man, take that shit off. Right. Yeah, absolutely.
Hey,
man.
Tyrese, what are those right there?
K-Bird said it. You know what I'm saying? K-Bird 80 said LaMelo is a Gen Z staple. That's why.
Yeah.
LaMelo's gonna make shit go. I think a lot
Scotty boy said big baller brand.
The big baller brand.
Hey, you gotta respect it though.
Gotta respect LeVar for what he was able to do and how he was able to push all 3 of his sons to success. Man, that's you know what I'm saying? As a black man, that's a salute to LeVar, man. That's success right there. You know what I'm saying? That's a win. But yeah, man. So I just don't. They're not superstars in their own right just because of the way that they get shelved. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you have a brand and a brand can't get behind you. Even if you want to talk about Steph Curry with Under Armour, Steph Curry basically has ownership. Steph Curry's at the point now with Under Armour where Steph Curry has ownership in Under Armour.
Yeah, I mean, but that's what I'm saying. So, like, you don't get deals like that unless. That's why I say you got to look at you can look at the shoe stuff and say it mirrors who's who, right? Like, who would even be able to sniff like I'm the face of a team or the face of a league? Because Iverson with Reebok, the reason why I mentioned him is, man, he's still involved. Like, whatever, I think Shaq's ownership group bought Reebok, but Iverson is still involved. Like, I don't know if he's the VP or something, but they also set up like a trust account for Iverson. Reebok did. I mean,
Yeah.
who the fuck are you doing that for? You're not doing that for like, no disrespect, but let's say another guard on his squad. Did Eric Snow get a deal like that? You know what I mean? Like you're doing it for the guy, like the
Or
man.
Aaron McKee.
Even though these are
Um,
all ballers, y'all. If they can
and-
hoop, but I'm just
but
saying they
I think
wasn't
I think
Allen
I
Iverson.
think AI. I think AI is 5 years away from cashing out on that Reebok
Hey,
trust.
that's dope.
I
That's
think
dope.
at 55 he cashes in. What was it, like 50 mil?
It was something. I would
Yes,
assume that
50
it's
mil.
accrued some.
Look
Oh,
at
look,
Scotty
go
Boy.
Scotty boy. Come on, Scotty boy. Come on, Scotty boy, man. Don't do him like that. Oh,
Ooh.
I see Dizzle said he had them Larry Johnsons too. Hey, what were they? They were the Tar Max, right? I think they were called the Tar Max, if I'm not mistaken. But
What's
yeah,
that?
the Larry Johnson joints. Dizzle said he had a pair of them.
Mm.
What'd he
Yeah, man.
say? DP, if you ain't gonna act like I didn't post that in the chat 2 times about. Oh, I didn't see, my bad. This is like, hey, this is like, nigga, if you don't, you open your eyes, my bad. I didn't see you,
Yeah.
Dizzle.
Hey, to K Bird's point about Reebok doing that to look out for AI and help him save his money. I think they had a conversation with, I think it might have been his grandmother, about AI and looking out for AI in the long run, and that's
Mm-hmm.
what helped them. That's what got them to set up that trust for him. So like, hey man, like years from now, you'll still be good to go. Now, luckily, AI, a living, one of those living legends, man. He's been good,
Mm-hmm.
you know, but it don't hurt to have that retirement
Oh,
kick
absolutely.
in at 55 when you're a lot more mature and you have people in place to probably take care of your money and make sure that things are in place for your kids, things are in place for for you as you get older and continue to do your thing. So yeah, man. But
Hey,
either way, shout out to AI.
and when you said that, it made me think of another player, and then even another sidebar question. And I know we got to get out of here, but who had a better short run in the shoe game, or even just period? Who had a more live or influential marketing campaign behind their shoes, more so than Penny Hardaway?
Oh man, Penny did with Spike Lee, half cent with the half cent, a
With the
little
little
penny,
Penny,
little penny joint, man.
with Chris Rock doing the voice behind it, like,
Yeah,
and the shoes were fire
it was
too.
hard. The penny one, the penny two.
Man, I got my daughter some of them, her school colors. She barely rocked them. I'm like, you don't even know what you got.
But that's
Like,
why, listen, that's why with kids now, so I got kids, and like I try and expose them to like, hey man, like this is tough. Like this is
Scotty
tough.
Boy
Like,
said the Shacks.
hold on, man. Shaq had a run.
Wait, which ones are you talking about though? The ones in
Yeah.
Walmart, dog?
Not the ones in Walmart. When he was with
Right.
Reebok,
I think that's what he talking
yeah,
about.
yeah. When Shaq was in Reebok, I think his last shoe might have been the Shaq Gnosis. They hey, them shits are smooth, but it's just not for a big foot. Like it's cool. You got the small foot, you can do the little Shaq joints. All the AI shits go clean over a small foot. Like
Mhm.
I got the answers one time and I was like, man, I'm a size 13. Them shits they too bulky, they too big. That shit looks good on a small foot. You
Yeah,
feel me?
see, those the ones they talking about, dog. The
Not that
Kmart
no no
joints.
no no nah
Yeah,
nah
see,
nah nah.
Scotty Boy laughing and shit. That's
Not
exactly what he was talking about. And K Bird following that
no,
shit up like the
but
Kmart joints.
yeah. But as far as the as far as the with shoes with the youngsters, they don't respect the shit that we respect.
And it's
I'm
crazy.
saying it's a
It's
it's a different world
crazy.
now. Now kids are more into lifestyle shoes,
Yes, New
right?
Balance and
And they in the New Balance,
Adidas,
or,
the
or if
Adidas
it's
lifestyle
Nike,
shoes.
if it's Nike, it's the P6000s or the
Yes.
Vomeros, right?
Yes.
Like they into that shit. Jordan, this is why we got to respect Jordan. Jordan gonna get the respect across the board.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what age group you are. They may not hold it in the same regard that we hold it in, right? The white cement threes, the black cement four, or the white cement fours, the bread, like bread ones, or
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying, the grape fives, or like all like the shit that we remember. Fresh Prince wearing the grape fives. Like, okay, those is coming out this month,
Hey,
and it's like the nostalgia.
Hey, he used
Hey,
to have gear on the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air,
hey,
low key.
hold on. Before Fresh Prince had gear on the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, it was Dwayne Wayne and his
Yes.
boy on a different world.
Ron.
It was rocking Ron
Yeah.
and Dwayne Wayne was rocking the Jays in a different world.
Yes.
The culture been there.
Yes.
The culture been there. Like, it's so again, like I'm in that phase now where it's like I tell my kids, like, hey, shut the fuck up. I'm collecting my shit.
Yeah.
All the shit I'm collecting is the shit that either I had when I was younger, didn't get a chance to get when I was younger. And you know what I'm saying? I'm rocking them now. I'm looking at some UNC 9s right now that I bought, or some motherfucking black cat 3s that I just like. I mean, like, all my little shits, man. Let me have my little shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep that little Jordan shit alive. You feel me? Because the nostalgia is real.
Yep.
But
Yep.
there'll never be another like Jordan. We can all agree on that. As
Look,
far as like off the
even
court.
engineer saying Howie Roseman, Eagles GM, rocking Jordans with a suit during draft night.
Period.
Shit. We were talking about the TNT crew. Ernie Johnson be rocking J's, man.
Yeah. The nostalgia is different. Oh, yeah, Martin. Martin was rocking the J's with the HBCU hoodies and sweatshirts.
For sure.
Oh, my goodness.
Good call, K-Bird.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Man. Oh,
when
the Gamma 11s, they
when he
dropped
wasn't trying to
November.
When he wasn't trying to buy it at Hashitashi TV. He was
them Gamma 11s. Them Gamma 11s drop in November.
Oh yeah, and Skip
Bayless.
Skip
Bayless. Hey, listen, what Skip Bayless?
Got
Skip Bayless
come on the show.
Skip Bayless would come on the show every time and say, I can't lose in these shoes. Like, I mean, hey, Michael Jordan's a cultural icon, bro. Like, he's up here. He's Marlon Brando, the Godfather type shit. And then everybody else comes below him. You know what I'm saying? So,
man, before we get out of here, man, who do you have for game 3? That's likely when is game 3? Let me check the schedule while you're thinking about that. Who do you think is taking game 3?
I'd say, wow.
It's Wednesday.
So they're giving them every 3 days, huh? I think OKC's the better team. Now, we've seen Halliburton, you know what I'm saying, make the deal with the devil multiple times. Can he do it again? I don't think OKC gets dog walked. We've seen OKC in throughout these playoffs. They had one game where they got their ass whooped. That was that Minnesota that game. Was that game 2? Or no, it was game 3. They were up 2-0. Minnesota comes, puts foot in their ass,
blew them out, and that was it.
And then OKC,
Minnesota put all their effort into that one game, and
Does Indiana have one of those in them? Maybe. But because OKC gave up that first game, I don't think they can allow that to happen.
They would go in with the notion of not allowing it, but again, going back to the crib, the finals, this is the first game of the NBA finals for Indiana. So
look at your boy engineer say, I think Mel Gibson has the Pacers as well. Don't get Mel Gibson started wherever he is. Hey, Mel Gibson, come back, man. We still fuck with you, bro.
I don't know. I think their best shot at winning another one, I would say, if they didn't win another one other than this one, would be the next game. It would be this
You have
game
the home
3.
crowd behind them.
It's gonna be
Get
something
coming
different.
home. You're gonna catch OKC off guard, which it seems to happen a lot.
Yeah.
Like these motherfuckers act like they're not on the road,
Yeah.
and the other team doesn't get, you know, doesn't
Okay.
get amped up.
And K Bird is kind of speaking to what I'm saying. He said Indy taking game 3, home crowd. What is this? Oh,
Will
and I
give Indy
accidentally
a
put
boost.
okay, I didn't switch it over to the live. My bad. Yeah,
Yeah, will
home
give
crowd.
Indy a boost, and the supporting role players will play better at home. I
Okay.
mean,
I could rock with that.
again, it also comes down to how the officials call the game. So, are you going to let us play physical defense, or are you going to call it tight? Because the OKC defense isn't going away, and they can throw multiple guys at your best players. If you're banking on the role players, I'll say it. I'll ask the question again: can your third best player beat us? Who do you think? Who's OKC's? I mean, who's Indiana's third best player? Would you say it's Neesmith or Miles
Um,
Turner?
I would say Turner.
Can Turner beat us? Can Turner give us 30?
Turner had like 6 turnovers
Okay.
as the center. But I mean, is he capable of if he gets, if he gets hot and is knocking threes down? But that's the thing. He takes a lot of threes. Well, a good
Yeah.
amount of them. And then, the last point I'm gonna make, because we talk forever, is we're saying like they're taking threes, but they shot like 46% from 3 in this game. So they're not gonna look at the 3 as it's if it's the issue, you know,
Right.
especially shooting it at that clip. Um, but I still think you gotta mix it up, attack a little bit more. But you know, um, he said Indy has multiple. K Bird says Indy has multiple third best players. That's what makes them crazy good. It can be Nimhart, Neesmith, Toppin, Matherin. I agree, but if I was just thinking like on a just an overall like who would first that comes to mind, um it would probably be Turner, uh especially just given the length of time he's been in Indiana. Their success now has been kind of up and down with him, but now he's been hooping, and they probably want to look to re-sign him because I think he's going to be a free agent right after this season, if I'm not
Uh huh.
mistaken. Would be a good pickup for your squad. Um, the Lakers, except they would kind of need him to definitely play in the post a little bit more. Um,
Yeah.
Al Sucks in mock drafts, in response to what K Bird just says, that's exactly what makes both of these teams so exceptional. Unreal amounts of depth on both sides. I agree. But I'm still giving the edge to OKC as far as that goes, top to bottom, um, for their roster. But yeah, I mean, we talking about guys playing 10, going all the way down to the 10th man on the roster. Like nobody's really doing that consistently. Like I think KP had mentioned in the last episode. Usually these guys are cutting down their rotation to like 8 guys, 7,
Yeah.
8 guys. So
It makes a difference.
for sure. But
But
okay, you want to
I
you want to tackle this one, Bon?
mean, shit. He said Thunder even have extra depth for next year. Nikola Topic was a lottery pick last year and didn't even play this season because of injury. Man,
Yeah,
shout out to what's the GM over there? Sam Presti, right?
yeah. Presti is
Sam Presti is the GM over at OKC. Get on him a lot. This would be, I mean, hear me and hear me well. If OKC wins this championship, Sam Presti can finally sleep at night. He has been no. He has been putting together the accumulating talent, putting together talent for so long, but it hasn't equaled a championship.
Mm-hmm.
Like he can finally sleep at night if he wins this championship. Like it will be like the crowning, the one shining moment in his career, and he can finally exhale and say, like, man, okay, I did it. And then get right back to work. But it'll give him his moment, man. It's his moment.
Okay, Bird said facts, Bong, since drafting KD.
Yeah, no, for sure, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So, the person that's under the most pressure quietly is Sam Preston. Because right now you're back at the doorstep.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, get over the hump. You should be paying bonuses under the table if these motherfuckers can get over the hump, man.
Engineer with the Rockets.
Hey, listen, engineer. Whether the Rockets choose to get rid of Jalen Green or not, you got the Texans doing the right thing, man. They're making moves and trying to field a better team, so you be all right. Al Six of my draft said, "Will we be streaming the lottery?"
Yeah, we'll probably look into doing it. I mean,
or at least a reaction afterwards. But I don't. Yeah, I don't mind. I think the lottery moves a lot faster than the draft. The draft was, the draft is probably 15 hours of coverage.
It's on a Wednesday. First round is on the 25th, and then the second's on the 26th on Thursday. Okay, we'll have to see.
Yeah, I mean, first round for sure would be nice, just to, kind of dive in and see what it is. But, yeah, man, we'll definitely try the NBA lottery.
Yeah, and it's looking like about 8 Eastern, so around 5 our time. So, we'll see.
Al Sucks in Mock Draft said he streamed the whole NFL draft. Man, Al Sucks in Mock Draft, I followed you, man. And I've been trying to check a little bit of your content out, man. Obviously, you do a lot
3 long days. That shit is long.
You got some in-depth stuff, man. That's why I was saying, like, hey, man, we definitely gotta collab. I don't know what we're gonna work on or what we want to work on, but we'll talk. We'll definitely talk.
All right, K-Bird. We about to be out of here too, man.
Absolutely.
Hey, appreciate all y'all, man. Engineer, Scotty Boy, Al Sucks in Mock Drafts. I know
Deal World.
Gaming. Did Deal World hop in here? I didn't see Deal World.
Yeah, Deal World was in here earlier.
Oh shit! Damn, Deal World. Oh,
Mel Gibson.
Okay.
FYF Sports. Shit. Who else? I mean,
you said K-Bird, right?
Yeah, Usual Suspects.
Yeah.
Dizzle, my brother.
Of course, Dizzle.
Absolutely.
Hey, my bad. I don't know if Dizzle's still on here. Oh, Dizzle on here. Man, Dizzle, my bad, man. I gotta what the nigga say and do the right thing. Open your eyes. The old man where he was like, you ain't black, open your eyes. I gotta open my eyes, man. Make sure I ain't missing your comments, man. So
yeah.
But shit, all right, man.
All right, y'all. We holler.
Okay, Off Sucks and Mock Draft said I can put my big board in the Discord if anyone wants to look at it. Hey, shit.
Go for it.
Yeah.
I'm fucking with it, man.
Yeah. Well, shit. Anything else you got, Bong, before you roll out here?
That's it, man. We appreciate everybody. Please like, share, subscribe, and comment.
Mm-hmm.
3+1, formerly known as the Holy Trinity. KP, we miss you tonight, but I know you'll be back.
Look, KP, you got anything to say to the people?
Hey, I know you'll be back for game 3. So, you know what I'm saying? With that being said, we out.